Hello there. Welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host, Nelson L. Moody Sr. Today we're going to talk about the time a father spends with his child or children. We know that time is the most important thing that a father can spend with his children. It's not their watch, it's not their bike, it's not those roller skates or that Wii game or the iPod. Time. Value precious time. With that in mind, we have a guest tonight that's going to help us talk about time spent with children from a father. Why is it important for you to have a father in a child's life?
I think it's important to have a father in a child's life for a number of reasons. Number one, actually get the aspect of having both parents in the house to get both parents' perspective on everything, how dad would do things versus how mom would do things. And in the end, both the children will be able to see, okay, dad thought it was this way, mom thought it was this way, but they both came to a mutual agreement. That's something they can carry into their relationships into the future. Something that they can use to, build or have a model for their future husband, future wife. It's just also a good display on the father for him to be there to take part in those things. The homework, work study, after school events, extracurricular activities, even weekend and downtime. So I really think it's a very important role.
How was your life growing up with a father versus your friends not having a father in their life?
It was actually a very unique experience or whatnot. Had its pros and cons. My friends seeing me, come in with a set curfew every night, not being able to hang out with them as late. They saw it as a bad thing, but now I look back at it, I didn't see it as a bad thing. It's my dad actually showing, his rules and, teaching me disciplines and things like that. Or even Sundays coming after church, I always came out a little later than the other kids. Back then, I thought it was a bad thing too. I wanted to play my game and run wild like a kid, but things like that, I was learning how to cook, learning different skills that, a lot of young men either don't know or at this point in their time in their life haven't yet perfected. So I actually think for me, it was all positives. For them, maybe then seeing it as a bad thing, probably now will probably wish they had the opportunity, wish they had, the same influence. Uh, they may see it as taking away their playtime, but, you know, actually having that same influence, that same guidance growing up as I did.
That's outstanding. Uh, what kind of influence does a father have on his children?
I think depending on the person, depending on the father, what you know, the influence will come from. If you're a dad who was into sports growing up, of course you'll push your kids to participate in sports and extracurricular activities and things like that because being a father, that's what you did. You had fun. You want your child to experience or have the same dream that you had. Whereas, if you were into carpentry or something like that, like my dad was, I learned carpentry skills, real young, remodeling a house, using sealant and things like that, different tools I think every man should have, just for those around the house things. Uh, the influence is great. It's actually outstanding, seeing your child mimic your actions or mimic your moves, even through the good and the bad times, the influence is nothing but positive. It can be looked at through different ways, like I said, based on carpentry or even sports. As long as the dad is there, the influence should be there. Just his presence being there is usually enough.
Interesting. Do you think that you one day might have a child or children?
Yes, God willing.
God willing, huh? And there you have it. Time spent with your child, your children as a father is a great attribute internationally, as our show is called International Fathers. Time. This book right here, Men Are Loving Becoming Parents Too, is a bond between a father and his child or children. Can be ordered at authorhouse.com, Barnes& and Nobles, Borders, Amazon, and eBay. Makes great Christmas presents for father, mother, and children all year long. Fathers, call those children. Children, call those fathers. fathers hug those children, children hug those fathers. Once again, International Fathers, God bless you and thank you.